We've been trying our best to improve our squad over the last season and a half here at Crystal Palace, but as our Carabao Cup run this season shows, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. We left it as late as humanly possible to equalise against West Ham in the quarterfinals, and we just about managed to edge them out on penalties. And after racing out to a 3-0 lead against the 10 men of Manchester United in the semi-finals, somehow we allowed them back into the game. But the semi-final of the Carabao Cup is of course played over 2 legs, and we'll be hosting Manchester United in the return fixture at Selhurst Park in the featured game of today's episode. I'll also show you highlights of our Premier League fixtures against Sheffield United and Aston Villa as we continue to try and make top half, and we will quick sim fixtures against Brentford and against Swansea City in an early round of the FA Cup. We do also have the closure of the January transfer window to get to right after a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Enigma Football, the UK's leading supplier of football shirt mystery boxes just like this one. Enigma stock a wide range of football shirts from clubs from the Big 5 European leagues, from lesser known teams around the world, and even from national teams as well. And you can be 100% certain that their shirts are authentic because they get them straight from the clubs and the manufacturers directly. Their mystery boxes start at just $34.99, and they can be as random or as customized as you like. Of course, you need to specify your shirt size, but you can also let Enigma know if there are any teams or leagues you would like to avoid, if there are any colors or designs that you would prefer, or you can just leave it entirely up to Enigma to choose for you. Enigma had a very good idea of what team I would like to receive, so they sent me this season's Crystal Palace shirt. This exact shirt on the Crystal Palace website would have cost me £60, but if you receive it in a mystery box, you get it almost half that price. And you can knock that price down even further by using code LAMSY at the checkout for a 10% discount on all first orders, including the first month of a mystery box subscription package. So if you're on the lookout for a Christmas gift for the diehard football fan in your life, or if you just want a fun and affordable way to expand your own shirt collection, check out Enigma Football. The link is in the description, and be sure to use code LAMSY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. Shout out to Enigma Football for sponsoring. Now let's get back to the video. So as we've said in previous episodes, it's unlikely that we're going to do any additional business here in January. However, we are within touching distance of the top half, but gradually slipping away from achieving that target. And of course, with 1 foot already in the final, I want to go all out to win the Carabao Cup, especially since that would mean European football next season. And I have the perfect signing in mind to help us achieve those targets. Now, we do only have 25 million left in the budget for the season, so we're going to have to get Steve Parish's approval to spend about half of that. Parish is open to the idea, but he's somewhat reluctant and he wants some specifics. So we have let him know that he's going to start on the left wing for us, allowing Koleosho and Konstantelius to rotate on the right wing. This player is experienced, so won't offer a great deal of long-term value, but his mentorship will be invaluable and he'll be an immediate fan favourite. And Parish says if we're confident that he will strengthen the squad, boost morale, and give us a better chance to meet and exceed our targets this season, then he's on board. We can go and ask Dougie to make the call. And it didn't take long to get a deal over the line. We said the signing would be an immediate hit with the fans, and the feeling will certainly be mutual. Wilf Zaha loves Palace as much as Palace loves him, and he had no hesitation in returning to South London. As we said, Zaha will likely start on the left wing, giving us a few more options in those wide areas, and he should be able to add even further to our firepower this year, cutting in off the left-hand side to keep feeding Tammy Abraham and to grab a few goals of his own. Zaha is 33 at this stage, but he should give us a big short-term boost, and if we're going to make European football this season, we'd love to do it with him in the side. So with just that one additional signing through the door, transfer deadline day will tick away once more. And that does bring us to our first and featured game of the episode against Manchester United in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Now, we do have a 3-2 aggregate lead. So without further ado, let's head over to Selhurst Park and see if we can keep hold of it. So Wilf Zaha is back in the blue and red of Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. And he is starting on the left-hand side for us today. Hopefully to assist in sending us to the Carabao Cup final. We have 1 foot in the final, certainly. We have a 3-2 aggregate lead. So the advantage is with us. The onus is on Manchester United to take this game by the horns and get themselves back into the tie. We allowed them back into the tie in the previous leg. We had a more than comfortable 3-0 lead, whilst Manchester United were down to 10 men. But we let that 3-0 lead slip and gifted them 2 goals in the second half. I kind of think we have to treat this game as if it's 0-0. I think if we just sit back for 90 minutes and try to defend that single goal advantage that we currently have, as Memphis Depay takes a tumble in the box. Thankfully, the challenge was a fair one. I think if we just sit back and try and defend, we're going to get picked apart. Bruno Fernandes slips it through. I mean, it's looking like we're getting picked apart already, to be fair. Dean Henderson makes the save, though. I think we have to treat this game like it's 0-0. I think we have to go out and try and grab another goal to try and re-establish another 2 and potentially even 3 goal lead. That's a loose pass from Maxence Lacroix. It's been a nervy start in these opening 5 or 10 minutes. And Manchester United look to have the onus and the impetus. Wilf Zaha with his first touches. Poor Palace, though, loses out. Depay collects once more. We have pretty much our strongest 11 out on the pitch. Daniel Munoz, the only absence, really. Milan van Ewijk stepping in at right back. What a move. Carried away at the near post. Thankfully, the offside flag was up as well, though. But Bruno Fernandes with a lovely little through ball to Donyell Marlin. And he was just offside. Dean Henderson made the save regardless, so no goal either way. But United have started the brighter of the 2 sides by far. We're yet to really get our feet on the ball and start playing football. That's not really the way that we play. We don't play a possession-heavy style. We do aim to absorb pressure from the opponents, sit back, wait for opportunities to counter-attack. And we will continue to do that, but we have to use possession better than we've used it so far. It's another strike from range, but it's another save from Dean Henderson. And we will look to get in behind on one of those quick counter-attacks through Koleosho. Beats Malacia. It's a decent ball in search of Tammy Abraham. That's exactly the way we need to play, though. Quick, direct, aggressive. Malacia should have been booked in the previous fixture, but the referee forgot to put it in his book. A couple of people noticed that in the comments. I certainly noticed during the game as well. And I'm not sure if the referee has... I'm not sure if his memory has left him again. But Kobbie Mainoo is the player that got sent off for United in the last fixture, and he is starting for them again here today. I don't know the format of the Carabao Cup well enough to confirm whether or not that should be the case. Whether he's allowed to play. Would he have been... I assume he would have been suspended for the next Premier League game. And he's eligible to play in the Carabao Cup once more here. Marlon. Good challenge by Chris Richards. However, I would assume that he would be suspended for the next Carabao Cup game. I guess that's not the case, though. Oh, Jadon Sancho saved again from Dean Henderson. United continue to pour on the pressure. Milan van Ewijk hooks clear. Koleosho can't quite win it. And I think it's Malacia, the Manchester United left back, stayed down on the ground after that challenge from Koleosho. And looks to be in some discomfort. United overall looking more than comfortable, though. as they force yet another save from Dean Henderson, and hooks clear by Tyrick Mitchell, who does start on the left-hand side again in place of Roscoe Torres. We've kind of been rotating those two players, starting Mitchell when we need to defend a little more, Roscoe Torres when we think we can be afforded the ability to attack a little more frequently. Tyrick Mitchell really is on the fringe of the squad. I anticipated a much bigger role for him over the course of this save, but he's barely keeping his place in the side, as that's another perfectly placed pass. Trevor Chalobah beaten. And once more, and it's another big save from Dean Henderson. Thankfully, again, the offside flag goes up. But 25 minutes into the game, I'm not sure how much longer we can withstand this pressure from Manchester United. And I'm not sure how much longer we can go without making a change to try and establish some kind of foothold in the game. Daichi Kamada. Wilf Zaha on the far side. Doesn't quite make it to him. And we just cannot keep hold of the ball at the moment. Manchester United relentless in possession and relentless in their attacks. Daniel Marlon continues to be so. Bruno Fernandes just got to stop the shot. What a ball. Jadon Sancho. And the offside flag is up again. But we are really pushing our luck. We are really pushing our luck. Bruno Fernandes just absolutely pulling the strings for United. Slips another ball through there. This time for Jadon Sancho, who puts it in the back of the net. But as he has done on, what, 2 or 3 occasions already, the linesman bails us out. Wilf Zaha. Just no real options for him. Daichi Kamada. Drives at the Palace back line. Luca Koleosho. Oh, and Daichi Kamada had made a nice run. It was a poor pass, though. It was a poor pass. I was just trying to slip it through on the inside, but by the time we were in a position to do that, Daichi Kamada had... It was the pass on the outside that was the one that was on. And we just kind of ended up passing it straight into the feet of Malacia. There's Wilf Zaha. Wins the header. Flicks it onto Tyrick Mitchell. And again, it's just lack of creativity. Just doesn't beat his man. Doesn't go outside, doesn't go inside. Just kind of runs straight at him. That's another ball slipped through to Jadon Sancho. You have to come across. There was a user in Chris Richards there, expecting Trevor Chalobah to come across and kind of take away the space that I was allowing Jadon Sancho to have. And Koleosho is in behind here, and he is onside. Wilf Zaha is making the run towards the back post. Can't quite win the header. Adam Wharton brings it down. Unfortunately, under duress from the United midfielder. And he does lose out. Sancho once more. Good defending from Chris Richards. And it's blocked by Kamada. And we can come away on a quick counter-attack once more. Kamada with a good run. Taking up a good space just in that hole. And Tammy Abraham is offside. I thought he was. It was a perfect run, though. And it was a perfect ball just looped over the Manchester United back line. But Tammy Abraham, unfortunately, like Jadon Sancho, went a little too early. Van Eyck cannot dispossess Sancho. Finds Bruno Fernandes. He finds, I think, Memphis Depay. The shot is a poor one, and it's going to be a goal kick. Fortunately for us, Manchester United have been very wasteful with their opportunities. They've been either just... That's so poor. That's so poor. Well cut out by Maxence Lacroix, but Manchester United are just pinning us back. Not allowing us out of our own defensive third, really. Koleosho. There's just not enough on it. Looking for Zaha on the far side, and there's just not enough on it. It's been such a disappointing first half. We had hopes of grabbing an additional goal just to try and make the tie a little more comfortable. It's been anything but comfortable. It's been so nervy. Good challenge, Chris Richards. Somehow Memphis Depay keeps hold of the ball and gets a shot away. Zaha. Adam Wharton. Daichi Kamada. Wharton once more. And Zaha once more. This is better. Zaha goes outside, turns back inside. Waits for the overlapping run of Tyrick Mitchell, who finds space to cross, drives into the United box instead, tries to pull it back for Tammy Abraham. Goes down in the box, and the Palace fans are in uproar. They want a penalty. It's never going to be a penalty. We will settle for the corner. And I will actually switch to Daichi Kamada. I'd like an in-swinger here. And we'll get run across the near post as well. Balls to almost Trevor Chalobah. Just wouldn't quite settle for him, allowing him to get a shot away. Does make the challenge though, and it's a really good one. Adam Wharton. Oliosho on the right. Twists, finds space to cross. Kamada in the box. Headed clear by United. And it won't fall to Adam Wharton. But the referee's half-time whistle does go. I thought there was a little longer left in the first half. I've got to say I'm relieved to hear the referee's half-time whistle go. It's been a dominant display by United in the first half. And I think we might have to make a couple of subtle changes at half-time, because I don't think we can ride our luck again for another 45 minutes. Some slight tactical changes at half-time, I think, are going to allow us to set up a little better in the second half. So I'm hopeful that we can maybe nullify Manchester United's attack a little more in the second period, and hopefully get forward ourselves a little more successfully. We do the first on that occasion, but not the second. Bruno Fernandes once more. Ugarte. Force it wide to Dallo. And the overlapping run of Sancho down the right-hand side once more. Gets into the box. We force him towards the touchline. And thankfully Memphis Depay's header hits only the side netting. Chalobah finds Van Eyck, who just about finds Chris Richards. I was a little nervous there for a moment. I thought I'd left the pass a little bit short. Tyrick Mitchell. Manchester United continuing to press high. They are really looking to force the issue here. Van Eyck. And we have no options to move the ball forward. Adam Wharton. Maxence Lacroix. And eventually Tyrick Mitchell can't keep the ball in play. It's just been so poor. One of our worst performances of the season so far, it has to be said. We are going to be really lucky if we come away with the win here. With the win overall on aggregate. Not even just in the tie, or not even just in the match, but in the tie. Great challenge, Tyrick Mitchell. Beats one man. Finds Adam Wharton, and Wilf Zaha's in space on this left-hand side. Oh, and the pass through to Tammy Abraham is just a little overcooked. Zaha gets a foot on it, though. And Adam Wharton drives. Can't quite find Zaha again. Zaha is an inside forward, which is what we like to play on the left-hand side there. We have, of course, been training Constantelius to, firstly, switch his primary position to left wing, and then secondly to become an inside forward. But with Zaha has that player role already. Fernandes, can't let him shoot from range, especially after the goals that we've seen Dean Henderson concede, not just in the last couple of episodes, but against Manchester United in the previous match in this tie. Fernandes once more. Good challenge from Wharton. Just knocked clear from Mitchell, but kind of aimlessly. United continue the attack again. Sancho twisting, turning away from Tyrick Mitchell, who can't recover to get the challenge in. Not the first time anyway, but he does manage to on the second occasion. And again, we can just carry the ball forward here. We've got Adam Wharton inside. We've got Will Sahar outside. And that's a lunging challenge that wins the ball, according to the referee. I'm not convinced. And Tyrick Mitchell can't find Daichi Kamada. I mean, we're defending better in this second half, but still can't string two passes together. Fernandez. Again, we force the ball wide. I'm not sure that's such a good thing, though, because Sancho has been having Tyrick Mitchell for breakfast. Not on this occasion. Wilf Sahar. Koleosho wants it in behind. It's just played off Diogo Dallo and out for a Crystal Palace throw. Bit of respite. It should be a bit of respite, but the ball is just thrown directly to the Manchester United player. We have two players in the area, and somehow the ball goes straight to a Manchester United man. Daniel Marlon with the ambitious outside of the foot attempt, which thankfully is straight at Dean Henderson. Koleosho can't find Tammy Abraham. Daichi Kamada finds Lacroix. Mitchell. Lacroix once more. Daichi Kamada in a little bit of space. But again, United just pressing so intently. Kamada finds Wharton. There's Wilf Sahar. Tyrick Mitchell on the overlap. It's our best move of the game. And Tammy Abraham is in there. I think wins the header. Doesn't really manage to turn it towards goal, though. Tyrick Mitchell steals it back. We'll take a handball if there was one in there, ref. And I think there was. 66 minutes into the game. We'll probably also make a change or two here. It's just going to be the one change for now as Daichi Kamada leaves the field to be replaced by Cheick Doucouré. Doucouré not best pleased with the lack of game time that he's been getting in recent weeks. And has made that clear. So if we do want to keep hold of him beyond this season, we are going to have to do a better job of getting him in the team. Headed clear by Jadon Sancho. With Sahar trying to get there but doesn't manage it. Sancho once more. Beats Wharton. Just fakes one way and turns the other. Oh, and Marlon's beaten Tralaba for pace. And it's parried away again by Dean Henderson. United's clearest chance of the game, but Tammy Abraham has won the header and Luka Koleosho is suddenly in behind. And it's a great save by Onana, but Will Sahar puts it in the back of the net anyway. A goal on his debut for Wilfried Zaha. Back at Selhurst Park, makes it 4-2 on aggregate and may have just sent us into the final of the Carabao Cup. It was an unbelievable chance for Manchester United at one end. A big save from Dean Henderson and just suddenly we were in behind. United flooding bodies forward to try and get back level in the tie. And just a long ball up to Tammy Abraham, put it on his head and Koleosho was in behind and there was no way he was going to be caught. That's exactly why we brought Luka Koleosho in, for those exact kind of situations. And to some extent, that's exactly why we brought Tammy Abraham in as well. Not necessarily to be a target man just to lump the ball up to. Going to be a target man in terms of, you know, slightly more precise crosses into the box. But he's certainly useful in those kinds of situations as well. So he somehow, I have no idea how, but we somehow have a 1-0 lead in the match. And a 4-2 lead on aggregate in the tie. With about 20 minutes to protect that 2-goal advantage. Bobby Mainu with the strike from range. And Lacroix just looks clear. That'll go out of play, but we don't mind that at all. Manchester United to take the throw. We should probably make another change or two next time the ball goes out of play. We've only made the one so far. Jadon Sancho. That's not going to beat Tyrick Mitchell. It's been an interesting battle between the two. Jadon Sancho had the better of Tyrick Mitchell in the early portions of the game, I would say, but in the last 15, 20 minutes or so, Tyrick Mitchell has had Jadon Sancho's number. Daniel Marlin has been really bright for United today, as has Bruno Fernandes. Oh, Chris Richards lunging in, can't get there. Fernandes strikes from range, and what a game Dean Henderson's had. Goes out for a United corner. It's kind of frowned upon making substitutions when you're defending a corner, but we're going to do so here. So 2 more changes as the goal scorer. Nope, not the goal scorer. One of the assisters in the goal, Tammy Abraham, leaves the field, as does Adam Wharton. On his last legs, really, Adam Wharton. He's been outnumbered in that midfield. He's done an admirable job. But he leaves the field to be replaced by William Davidson. And United, oh my God, hit it straight at Dean Henderson. How many times today? I was certain they had a goal back. And Marlon, it's not Marlon, it's Memphis Depay, hits it straight at Dean Henderson. Big save. What a game he's had. Koleosho heads away at the near post. And Milan van Ewijk can carry the ball away on the right-hand side here, and he's got a bit of pace about him. He is a right-back, but he's a pretty rapid one. And Koleosho collects but can't get the shot away. So we do have Will Sahar playing through the middle now. And Ismail Assar out on the left-hand side. So just pace on both wings at this point. And Will Sahar kind of playing through the middle. So, of course, we wouldn't mind nicking an extra goal just to make 100% sure in the tie. So Ismail Assar's pace, I think, is a possible way that we could do that. I opted for that rather than bringing somebody like an Odson Edouard on. Big changes for United, though, including Xerxes coming on. We are yet to see Eberechi Eze play against us in a United shirt. It's a good challenge, I think, from Tyrick Mitchell, who goes down. But Luka Koleosho can come away with it and find Ismail Assar. And Zaha making the run through the middle. Zaha will go down. I don't think we're going to see red here, but it should be a booking for the United right back. I think it's Mazraoui, the substitute, who's just come on. I think it's actually Sancho, and it's a straight red. So for the second consecutive game in the Carabao Cup, a Manchester United player sees red. And it still feels too early, but 83 minutes into the game, with a 2-goal advantage in the tie, and Manchester United down to 10 men, surely we can celebrate now. Surely we are in the final now. Here's Ismail Assar. There's Milan van Ewijk, who brings it down, cuts back inside, lays it off for Cheick Doucouré, who forces a save from Andre Onana. And 5 minutes stand between us and the final of the Carabao Cup. It looks as though it's going to be Liverpool in the final. They have, or they had, I believe, a 3-1 advantage over Aston Villa heading into the second round of ties. Ismail Assar turns away from one, beats Lindelof into the box, pulls it back across goal, where Luka Koleosho was lying in wait. Cleared away from Manchester United before it reached him, though. Doucouré. We can just waste some time here. We can just see out these last couple of minutes. Book our place in the final. A trip to Wembley here in Season 2. And the prospect of European football in Season 3. It was looking a distant possibility, almost an impossibility, because we may not even finish in the top half of the Premier League at this point. We are not in the top half of the Premier League at this point. We're in 11th place. So we need to turn around our form in the league to even finish in the top half. Is that Eze? I think that is Eze now. The number 29 for United. So I think we finally do see Eze in a United shirt return to Selhurst Park. But it's not the return of Eze that's been the headlines here tonight. It's been the return of Wilf Sahar to Selhurst Park. And what an impact he's made already. If he wasn't a fan favourite already, he certainly will be now. Maybe those handful of Crystal Palace fans that were still undecided about him. There's probably about 7 of them in the world. But even they, surely, have had their heads turned now. I know Zaha's is a bit of a controversial figure, isn't he? I'm sure he's not unanimously loved by Crystal Palace fans. He was kind of known as a bit of a sulker. You know, teams knew that they could just give him a kick and that would put him off his game. And I know that frustrated certain Palace fans. But he's almost unanimously loved, if not entirely unanimously loved at Palace. And he has sent us into the final of the Carabao Cup, wearing the old number 11, gets his number 11 shirt back. And the players, rather, on the way out salute the fans. The fans who will not be at Selhurst Park for the next Carabao Cup fixture, but will be at Wembley instead to take on, I assume, Liverpool. And it will be Liverpool 2-2 in the second fixture. Gives them a 5-3 aggregate win over Aston Villa. And you can mark the day on your calendar already, the 15th of March. Next month, next episode, we will be taking on Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final. One of only 2 fixtures that we currently have scheduled for the next episode. But we have 4 additional games to get to in today's episode, starting with an FA Cup fixture against Swansea. And there's some rotation in the 11, but we are again still required to play the strongest 11 that we have available. And it does see us through to a 2-0 win over Swansea. Constantelius and Kamada each getting on the score sheet in the second half. And it should really be 3 more points as we take on Sheffield United at Selhurst Park. We need to take advantage of the number of home games that we've got in today's episode. We got off to a perfect start in this one, hitting Sheffield United on a quick counter-attack where Wilf Zaha found Tammy Abraham, who in turn found Luca Koleosho. Unfortunately, though, our lead only lasted 2 minutes because after Ryan Brewster's shot was saved, Adam Wharton, Chris Richards, Trevor Chalobah all ran away from the ball. We had another rough game, to be honest, a poor performance, but it looked as though we might get away with it. Wilf Zaha finding the back of the net after Tammy Abraham gets yet another assist. But unfortunately, Sheffield United would grab an equaliser late in the game. Really nice feat from their midfielder. And unfortunately, Giannis Constantelius picked up an injury in that last game, one of the first broken toe injuries we've seen. So the signing of Wilf Zaha is looking all the more important now. So Zaha will start again as we travel to Villa Park for our next game of the episode. Czech Decore also comes into midfield for Daichi Kamada, who is lacking in form a little bit at the moment. And again, we got off to an excellent start. And again, it was Luca Koleosho, Tammy Abraham, Wilf Zaha combining. This time, it was Kamada to set it up for Zaha to grab yet another goal, though. But unfortunately, we just continue to part the seas at the back, and we did so this time for Harvey Elliott, who just walked through Chris Richards and Trevor Chalobah, who again just ran away from the ball. And we did that not once but twice at the very end of the first half. Harvey Elliott grabbing a second goal to put Aston Villa ahead at the break. But from there, we absolutely dominated. We were all over Villa in the second half, but their keeper just made save after save after save after save. Relentless. It's almost impossible for me to put into words how much we dominated that second half. 32 shots in total compared to Aston Villa's 11. We just could not put the ball in the back of the net for a second time. So it's mixed emotions again heading into the final game of the episode against Brentford in the snow. Apparently, we've made the final of the Carabao Cup, but we continue to play poorly in the Premier League, and we play oh so poorly against Brentford. We lose 4-1. It's been a disastrous episode in terms of Premier League. Janelt opens the scoring in the first half. Visser, Hickey, and Burmo all grab goals in the second period. Adam Wharton grabs a consolation for us. So we might have won both of our cup matches, but we took only a point from 3 Premier League games in today's episode, and that point was against Sheffield United, a team we really should be beating. We should not be losing 4-1 to Brentford. A 2-1 loss against Aston Villa isn't the worst result on paper, But based on the way that we played, again, that was a game that we should have been winning. And I think those results mean that our hopes of a top half finish in the Premier League are well and truly dead. We currently sit in 12th position, 9 points away from West Ham, who currently occupy the final position in the top half as they sit in 10th. And with only 11 games left to play, I don't think we're going to be able to overcome that deficit. However, the season is far from lost. In addition to that Carabao Cup final against Liverpool in the next episode, we'll be taking on Arsenal in the Premier League, but we also face Southampton in the FA Cup. We are down to the final 16 in the FA Cup, and it's a fairly weak 16. Crawley Town are still in the competition. Granted, they are taking on Man United, so very unlikely to progress to the quarters. But Burnley are taking on Brentford. Sunderland are taking on Everton. It's going to be Bournemouth against Huddersfield. There's really only one good team on that side of the draw. Fulham will be taking on West Ham. We face Southampton, but it's West Brom versus Birmingham and Chelsea versus Wolves. I really don't see too many teams left in the competition that we should be too concerned about. Manchester United, Chelsea are the only big clubs remaining in the FA Cup. So we may have let it slip a little too far in the Premier League, but there is still a lot to play for this season, including the prospect of a trophy and the prospect of European football. So we will look forward to that in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.